Kyler Murray's a problem, but the Cardinals have a Rams problem. Consider this, Peter. In the last game pre-Sean McVay that the Rams had, January 1 of 2017, the Cardinals beat the Rams 44-0. Since then, with McVay, the Rams are 8-0 against the Arizona Cardinals. Total combined points, 251-91. 5 blowouts along the way. Wow. And they've handled them with Kyler Murray because, as Aaron Donald said last year, we're used to dealing with Russell Wilson. We kind of have the pieces in place to deal with Kyler Murray. So 8 games in a row the Rams have won. Both teams are undefeated at 3-0. They're playing at SoFi Stadium. I don't know what the Cardinals are going to be able to do here. The Rams have been dominant. The Cardinals have been lucky at times. This one, I'm not going to call a blowout is coming, but I think the spread's 4.5. The Cardinals got to prove that they can stay within a touchdown of the Rams because they haven't stayed within a touchdown for 4 years.
Here's sort of the way I look at this. To me, I understand that the 8-0 is just really eye-opening, but I always look at the players who are going to be playing in this game. Okay, and look, I think the Rams are going to win this game too. I think probably most people would who analyze this game. But the one thing that I see right now in Kyler Murray is I see a guy who is increasingly confident in his ability to make tight window throws, Mike. If you watch the way he has played early and watch some of the throws that he has made, like, now that wasn't a tight window throw, but over and over again, what you see is he is okay and he's confident now, zinging the ball into, now that's a fairly tight window throw because he had to get it to one specific spot. And so that's how I look at Kyler Murray now, and that's what he really hadn't been prior to this year. I just think he is a problem, as Sean McVay says, and he will have to be great in this game for them to win, and he hasn't been great before this year against the Los Angeles Rams. So he's going to have to find a solution or two that he hasn't found in the last year especially.
And let me flip it around to the other quarterback, because somehow the Rams have handled the Cardinals easily 8 straight times with Jared Goff as their quarterback. Now they have the dramatic upgrade to Matthew Stafford. Consider this. Goff is now 0-10 in his entire NFL career when his head coach is anyone other than Sean McVay. And 8-0 with McVay against the Cardinals. You go from Goff to Stafford and everything they're doing on that offense, and they're dialing it up deep, and they're dialing it up short, and they're able to do all the things. As Cliff Kingsbury said earlier this week, it's a perfect storm when you combine a guy like Stafford with Sean McVay. And they were 8-0 without Stafford against the Cardinals. That's what makes me even more convinced this is going to be a romp by the Rams on Sunday.
You know, I remember sitting in training camp talking to Matt LaFleur with the Green Bay Packers on my training camp tour, and unprompted, right at the beginning of the conversation, he goes, just watch out for Matthew Stafford. That guy is going to have a monster year. And look, not just for that, but I did pick him as my MVP coming into this year. The interesting thing is, you could argue that 1-2 for MVP after 3 weeks would be in some way Kyler Murray and Matthew Stafford. Add Derek Carr in there. You know, he's won, and you know, Derek Carr, he's won 2 overtime games so far. But when I look at right now the way Matthew Stafford is playing, look, I talked to McVay the other day, Mike, and one of the things that it's clear. Sean McVay feels very comfortable with every single play on his play sheet right now, calling anything at any time, knowing that he has a quarterback who will execute it just like Sean McVay envisions it being executed, okay? And look, McVay won't say this. Every time I've talked to him about Goff, I love Goff, hey, it just didn't work out, we're both moving on, blah, 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 blah. He never says, man, Goff stunk. But you know that clearly He basically believes that right now he can call anything with Stafford and be ultimately confident that Stafford's going to execute it.
Reminds me of that event back in June where he was appearing with Stafford and McVay was all over the top on how happy he is now and all of this. And he said just enough to make it clear that you know, it's gone from Goff to Stafford, and people reacted to that, and McVay got a little pissy. Sorry, Manchester. But he wasn't happy that people applied the obvious logical conclusion to his words about why he's so happy now, because he wasn't happy when he didn't have a guy who could make all the throws and do all the things necessary. If they'd had Stafford in Super Bowl 53, we talked about that earlier, how the Patriots offense was compromised in 2018. They'd have won that Super Bowl if they had Matthew Stafford for that one game. That's for damn sure, Peter.
Mike, all you have to do is look at, you know, when McVay got on the phone with me after the game last Sunday, he goes, man, I've got just a massive headache, probably because I acted like a maniac all through this game. Now, Mike, does a sort of middling happy, just okay with what's going on, run up and down the sidelines like an absolute maniac, and is the first guy to get to the end zone, to greet Deshaun Jackson after a touchdown? I mean, this guy was running like a man possessed all through the game. And he blamed it on coffee. I blame it on unrequited, unreserved euphoria.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.